This is the AI Leadership Podcast by AI Leaders. Practical, to-the-point content helping you drive results with AI. Here's Chris and Frank.
Hi, welcome to this special abbreviated episode of the AI Leadership Podcast. I'm Frank Strickland. He's Chris Whitlock. We're going to take 10 minutes to walk you through some of the more recent research that we've been doing, applying GenAI to speech coherence and what that can tell us potentially about cognitive decline. Chris, over to you.
Great. We are doing a variety of research with the tools, different tools. This was one particular line of activity that focuses on presidents. And I have been working on research back to President Carter and various speeches with different techniques. The issue here is one that's risen in national importance, and that is, does President Trump demonstrate any potential cognitive decline? And the curiosity was, from a research perspective, can we use these tools to analyze his speech content and see, is there any reason to warrant further concern or to give further attention to this? Bottom line, there are some things that are worth paying attention to. Let me explain the technique and then the results. So in the technique, we are using a concept and an affiliated metric around coherence. For our speech to be coherent, on the left-hand side of the page, it's got to be logical, it's consistent, it delivers relevant information with clarity, and it has effective and smooth transitions, so it makes it easy for the audience to follow. It uses words that they can engage with, that they understand and appreciate. And if it's in some form of question and answer context, then the content delivered in the speech is responsive. The machines will score transcripts. That's what we have done in the research. It uses a scale from 1 to 10. 1 or a 2 is very confusing and it's largely incoherent. It would be the characterization. 3 to 4, noticeable issues in coherence. We're going to show you content in that category. Moderately coherent, 5 to 6, very coherent, 7 to 8, and exceptionally coherent, 9 or a 10. Just as context, looking back across presidents from Carter to Biden, we have seen a lot of really remarkable speech content as it pertains to coherence. Former President Reagan is a standout. Obama is a standout. Senator Romney in presidential debates, a real standout for very high coherence remarks. That's the context. That's what we're measuring. This scale of 1 to 10 will show up on this next page. If you look at the left-hand side of the scale or on this chart, you see the coherence scale from 1 to 10. Now, I've divided the surface of the chart into two halves, roughly. One is our baseline period, and this takes former President Trump from 2016 to 2020. And I'll show you a number of speeches that have been scored. Then for now, 4 years later, so he is significantly older than when he first took office, we're showing you where his speech content scores for coherence now. Used a number of different techniques. You saw the little pop-up there. Some of these are on teleprompter. We use that as a baselining technique. The speaker still has to deliver on message. They have to be able to read coherently and stay on topic. Now, we've used a variety in the left-hand side of the graphic. So I've scored former President Trump's 2016 RNC acceptance speech, the inaugural speech in 2017, 20 randomly selected press interactions. These were in a variety of formats, but typically here he's either using notes or speaking extemporaneously. And then 2 others that were much more formal, State of the Union and his 2020 RNC speech. More recently, we have taken a battery of his activities, Fox News interview that was extended, the Trump and Biden debate, the RNC acceptance speech, etc. You see a number of them there. Now, on teleprompter, and we have seen other performances from former presidents at the 9 and 10 level consistently. During Trump's time in this baseline period, he had very good coherence. 7s consistently, an 8 on his inaugural speech. Exactly what you would want to see from someone in a highly visible national role, delivering really important content to the nation. Now, in more recent times, his RNC speech, 2024, we see a decline. So rather than an average of about 7.6, 7.7 in the baseline period, we see this drop to 6.0, and that's really the only one prominently that's scored in this environment. On teleprompter, are you reading effectively? Are you staying on topic? Are you delivering in a way that people can follow and engage with? Now, the contrast for this are things that are more extemporaneous or just with notes. 20 of them scored 2017 through 2019. So there is some randomness at play in the selection. And the average here is 6.4 for coherence. That's at the higher end of the moderately coherent scale. Solid, what we might expect in conversation, especially on complex topics. What catches our eye in the results of research is comparing to today. So now we're 4 years later. And when you score these remarks, the coherence drops significantly. Some of these scores, like the Atlanta rally speech, are significantly challenged in the ranking that the machine would provide. There are noticeable and significant issues with coherence. Overall, using generative AI in this way, we're not looking at little snippets served up by media or by campaigns, but rather we're processing closer to the totality of a person's speech in the role, whatever president that may be. This particular issue is whether former President Trump may be manifesting indicators of cognitive decline. And the bottom line, his coherence, when you take him off teleprompter, has declined from an average of 6.4 to 3.9. That would be an indicator in speech cognition, speech therapy, etc., of a particular manifestation of problems referred to as tangentiality, an inability to stay on topic. There are some other elements in speech that you might observe there. We are not speech therapists, nor are we doctors. We're using AI tools to evaluate content in the form of transcripts. But this is what we find on this particular issue. We think it's worthwhile to share in the context of the national debate. But our primary interest is how to use these tools. They're very robust and capable of a wide variety of things as it pertains to language. So happy to share this with you today.
Thanks, Chris. So everyone, this is the third episode presenting these analyses where we're using these GenAI tools to assess speech coherence. You can find the other 2 episodes at our channel, the AI Leadership channel. If this has been interesting and valuable to you in some way as an exemplar for how to use these tools, please give us your feedback. Please rate and review on Apple, Spotify. It helps to get the word out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're also interested in developing your AI leadership or developing AI leadership in your organization, we have a body of resources you can find at aileaders.com, aileaders.com. And so we're going to continue to do a body of longitudinal analyses using a wide variety of data. So stay tuned for additional episodes. But we welcome your feedback. And for now, thanks for listening. Appreciate you.
Indeed.